Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is David with Side of Tech. Today we're going to be unboxing a highly anticipated product on the channel, the Nintendo Switch OLED. So unlike the original Switch, this product retails for $349.99. And if you're like me, you're starting to see some of the Switches come back into stock, which is really great. Today we're going to be unboxing it. We're going to go ahead and set it up, and then we're going to go ahead and give my first impression. So if all that sounds good, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I really want to earn your subscription today. And feel free to follow me on all my social media. I'll have everything listed down in the description below. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and check it out. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and unbox the Switch. I have here the white model, and looks like the shipping kind of messed that up. Oh well, it is what it is. At least I have it here. So we're gonna kind of compare this with the new one. So let's go ahead and get started with the unboxing. Nice and clean. And I have been waiting for them to release another clean model, just like the gray one. So now they released the white. All right, so here we go. And that is the white OLED model Switch. So I've heard that these Joy-Cons, nothing has changed with them other than they are just white. These are really, really clean. I can imagine that these will get extremely dirty throughout normal use. So that's one bad thing about them. So let's put these off to the side. And then we have the main event, the new Switch. The biggest difference between this and the older one is that this has an OLED screen. So the top layer of this, I believe, is glass now rather than plastic. So here we have the old one. Yeah, it sounds a lot more hollow. I actually have a glass screen protector on this, but the sound it actually makes is a little bit different than this one. This one feels way more solid. Let's combine the controllers here. Okay. Doesn't feel too much different. There's like a feel of solidness when it comes to this new body. The new kickstand. I am super excited for this. Oh, okay, and it's fully adjustable, so it actually stops where you want it to. That's really great. It's not just stuck on one position, unlike this older one. This old kickstand is just horrible. This is one of the things I hated the most about this product. Only one position, and it's just so flimsy. All right, so let's move on to the rest of the package. This one has our literature, just basic stuff. Sadly, no stickers again. Here we have the HDMI cable. So I am assuming this is the same HDMI that comes with the original Switch. All right, and here we have the power adapter. All right, so power adapter, same as last time. And we have the Joy-Con controller. So you guys already know what this does. You just put on your Joy-Cons here and you can play it kind of like with a full-size grip of a regular controller. And onto the second main event, and I think this is it for the box. Oh, you know what? I forgot the little Joy-Con extensions with the lanyard. The second main event is the new dock. So I'm super excited for this because it comes in white, so it's super clean. I don't know how good my camera is going to pick this up, but the Switch logo is right here. I'll probably insert some B-roll so you guys can get a better look at it. But yeah, all white dock and then some black accents. Oh, and the inside is glossy now. So that might be good when you're slipping in your Switch. Yeah, I feel less resistance. Not really showing anything that'll indicate that the Switch itself is getting scratched up. Now that is a super clean package, guys. Look at that. We have the two USB type A ports, standard like last time, and then we have this new backing. No more hinge, apparently. This is if you just want the back to be completely open. So I like that option. All right, so we have the AC adapter, HDMI out, and a new port, which is a LAN port. So the LAN port on here allows you to connect to your internet connection hardwired. So that's really cool. So let's move on to the Switch and starting it up. also, if you're not really interested in the setup part of the video, I'm gonna go ahead and leave a timestamp where you can go ahead and skip forward in the video. User agreement, totally read the whole thing here. And then we're looking for networks. So found my network. And while this is connecting, I have to say something that the speakers on the OLED switch, they seem a lot more louder. Would you like to connect to a TV? Not yet. So it's just kind of giving me a little tutorial saying how I can use the Joy-Cons. Adding a user. So we're gonna actually import the user data from another console onto this one. It's kind of a complicated process, so I don't really want to do that on camera. It might take a little bit longer. If you guys want a separate video, I can go ahead and link you down to some of my favorite videos where I am going to be following their processes. So it's been about a week that I filmed that initial unboxing portion of the video. So I do have some first impressions that I can share with you guys. So the number one pro, without a doubt, has to be the new OLED screen. Not only is putting an OLED screen onto a Switch a fantastic idea by Nintendo, it really does make the colors pop because of the true blacks that the new screen gives off. Since the new screen does give off better brightness than the older one, you can definitely play it in more sunlit environments, and I found that to be the case, that it really does work. And not only is the screen itself improved, the overall bezels and the screen size is improved. So when you're kind of comparing the two, the OLED one, the screen is just, it's bigger. It's a lot bigger. The bezels are smaller. Well, this one I don't have set on dark mode, but you could just tell the blacks are just so much better. And it really does make it a much better experience than the older Switch. My second pro has to be the new hinge system on the OLED Switch. Why this wasn't the initial hinge system for the first launch Switch, I will never know. This doesn't detach like the first one. I don't know what they were thinking about this one, but it just comes right off. So I'm really glad that Nintendo took the effort to improve the hinge system. So you can fully adjust the viewing angle of the Switch. You could make it go super flat or just stand straight up. The next positive that I have is the dock. And what they did this time, instead of just changing the color scheme, they improved the whole entire system. So the inside plastics are actually a different material. It's not a rough plastic like in the launch one, so Nintendo has you covered on that. So instead of a USB type A port, you're gonna get a new LAN port. Any kind of online game that requires a really good connection, this is incredible. And one last thing about the new dock system, it works with both Switches. The old dock works with the old Switch and the new Switch, and the new dock works with the new Switch and works with the old Switch. So this is really great, and I'm really glad that Nintendo chose to do this. They really didn't have to. They could have just made a dedicated dock for just the new one, but they made sure that your old Switch will work with it. So that's an A+ for me. So I had a lot of great things to say about my initial pros, but now we're gonna move on to some of the cons that I have with the new system. So for deal breakers, I don't really have any myself, but there's one thing that I know that everybody is really worried about, and the fact that this is an OLED panel and there is always a risk of burn-in. Not only that, Nintendo did not really build in any kind of anti-burn-in system. So this is really a non-factor for me, but I know it's on a lot of people's minds. So as long as you don't play Smash 24/7, this is really something that you guys should not worry about at all. Now I'm gonna go over some of the gripes that I have with the system. So for one, I really think that improving the panel was a great idea. OLED is such a nice technology. I really wish that Nintendo upgraded the screen over to a full HD screen. So 1080. Right now it's running at 720, just like the last version. Another small gripe that I have with the system is that I know that they had to make it a little bit more wider. I believe it's by 0.1 inches, which doesn't sound too big, but it's enough to make it so that some of your grip cases do not fit on your new system. So I'm glad that they're letting us use our old docks, but at the expense of making it a little bit wider. And in a time of a pandemic,
it's a lot harder to get these products out the door. The big question, who am I gonna recommend this switch to? So the first situation is super easy. If you guys are first getting into the system for the very first time, definitely save $50. Don't go into Starbucks for a week and just spend the extra $50 onto the new switch compared to the old one. So the second scenario is a little bit tougher. If you guys are a launch switch person, meaning that you have the old version, this one I would have to weigh the pros and cons a little bit. So if you guys do have the extra money to spend on a brand new switch and you're not really gonna use that money anywhere else, I feel like this is a great upgrade. And again, if you guys don't have the extra cash for the newer model, just stick with the old launch switch. It's still a great system. If you guys want to keep it as simple as possible, the only thing you're going to be missing out is on the panel. So the last situation is going to be for those who have a Switch Lite. If you're looking into upgrading onto either the older Switch or the newer model, I recommend, again, going for the newer model. So overall, you're going to get the latest and greatest, but with a much better experience than having the older one. And one of the last things I'm going to be saying is that I know that stock right now is fluctuating so much. I was lucky enough to pick this up on Amazon and the stock did last about a week, but now it shows out of stock. But if you guys are patient enough, I know that they're gonna restock this again. This seems to be sticking around a little bit, whereas something as like the PS5 just goes out of stock instantly. Do not pay the resale price. Do not pay a scalper. Just be patient for one. And again, do not pay resale. This one was a fun one. I always love talking about video games. It's just one of my passions that I've always had ever since I was young. So what do you guys think? Are you guys gonna pick up a new OLED Switch? Or are you just gonna wait for a newer version to come out with more pro features? Either way, go ahead and let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your guys' opinion on this. These kind of everyday products are what I love to cover on this channel. EDC gear, tech, gaming. This is what I love to cover. So if you guys are interested in that type of stuff, go ahead and subscribe down below. So if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna go back to beating up this guy's butt in Bravely Default 2. That being said, this is David serving you a little side of tech, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys. Oh, God.